Welcome to this episode. Today we're diving into something that's often talked about in simple terms but is actually really complex. Pain and stress, and how they overlap in the nervous system and recovery.
Yeah, it's interesting how we usually think of pain as just a feeling in one spot, like a headache or a sore back, and stress as just feeling overwhelmed or anxious. But biologically, both are way more complicated than that.
Exactly. At Biotech International Institute, or BII, researchers emphasize that recovery from pain or stress isn't about flipping a single switch or targeting one pathway. Instead, it's about many overlapping biological systems working together.
Right, and that's what we want to explore today. How pain biology, stress circuitry, neuroimmune activity, and recovery pathways all overlap, and why understanding this complexity really matters for neurological research.
So let's start with pain. Most people think of pain as just a sensation localized to one part of the body. But biologically, pain is much more than that.
Yeah, pain signals actually start in peripheral nerves at the site of injury or irritation, but then they travel through the spinal cord to different brain centers. Along the way, multiple systems get involved.
Like the nervous system, pathways that process and sometimes amplify those signals. Plus, inflammatory signaling and immune cells can increase how sensitive we are to pain.
And don't forget stress hormones. They can influence how pain is perceived. Plus, pain can disrupt sleep, mood, and attention, which can make the experience worse.
There's also neuroplasticity. That's the nervous system's ability to rewire itself. Sometimes, this rewiring can make pain signals stronger or more persistent, which helps explain why some pain becomes chronic even after the original injury heals.
That's a really important point. Pain isn't just a simple message from the body. It's a complex process involving many systems at once.
Now, stress is often thought of as just an emotional experience, but it has a deep biological side too.
Absolutely. When the body experiences stress, it triggers changes in hormones, immune function, inflammation, sleep patterns, cognition, and emotional regulation.
Short-term stress can actually be protective, like a quick burst of adrenaline helping you escape danger. But prolonged or chronic stress can change the biological environment in ways that make recovery harder.
For example, chronic stress can increase inflammation, heighten pain sensitivity, disrupt sleep quality, impair cognitive performance and emotional regulation, and even change immune system balance.
It also affects reward circuits in the brain, which influence motivation and mood. So stress biology is tightly linked to the nervous system and shapes the environment where recovery happens.
What's really fascinating is how pain and stress don't just happen side by side. They can reinforce each other in a kind of feedback loop.
Yeah, pain can increase stress levels, and stress can make the nervous system more sensitive to pain. Poor sleep, inflammation, and mood vulnerabilities can make both worse.
This interaction is complex and hard to study if you look at pain or stress alone. Researchers ask questions like, is inflammation involved? Are stress circuits activated? Is the nervous system becoming sensitized? Are immune cells contributing? Are neuroplastic changes reinforcing the cycle?
And these are research questions, not treatment claims. But they help guide how scientists think about these overlapping pathways.
Speaking of sensitization, that's a key concept here. It means the nervous system becomes more responsive or reactive over time.
Right. In pain, sensitization means things that didn't hurt before might hurt now. In stress, it means stronger or longer-lasting reactions to stressors.
Sensitization can make recovery more difficult because the system is basically turned up too high, like a volume knob that's been cranked up.
That's why BII approaches recovery as a systems-level question. You can't just fix one pathway if the whole system is sensitized.
Another important piece is neuroimmune activity, the constant communication between the nervous system and the immune system.
Immune cells in the brain, like microglia and inflammatory molecules, can make it harder for the nervous system to reset after injury or stress.
This is why neuroinflammation keeps coming up in neurological research. It helps explain why some nervous system states are persistent or resistant to recovery.
Now, BII is developing some interesting research stage platforms to explore these complex pathways.
Yeah, like Neuro4All, which focuses on neuroinflammation and receptor-selective small molecules. But it's important to stress it's a research tool, not a treatment.
Then there's precision peptides, designed to target specific biological pathways with controlled delivery and stability. Again, early-stage research.
And NeuroReset, an early concept related to recovery after dependency, focusing on neuroplasticity and stress circuitry recalibration.
None of these platforms are proven treatments yet. They're tools to better understand biology and guide future research.
That brings us to biomarkers, measurable biological indicators that help researchers understand and track these complex states.
Examples include inflammatory molecules, stress hormones, oxidative stress markers, brain imaging, sleep quality measures, and cognitive tests.
No single biomarker tells the whole story, but together they help turn broad concepts into measurable research questions.
And finally, recovery itself is not a simple on or off switch.
It requires coordination across many systems, resolving inflammation, regulating stress responses, adapting neuroplasticity, modulating pain, restoring sleep, balancing immune function, stabilizing cognition and emotions, repairing tissue, and improving overall function.
This complexity is why BII focuses on biological systems rather than isolated symptoms.
And because pain and stress affect so many people, careful communication is essential.
BII does not claim its platforms cure or treat pain, stress, addiction, or neurological disorders. These are research stage efforts aimed at understanding biology, not making clinical claims.
Validation, independent study, and regulatory review are needed before any claims can be made.
So, to wrap up, pain and stress remind us that the nervous system operates through many interacting signals.
Inflammation, immune activity, neuroplasticity, stress biology, sleep, cognition, and recovery pathways all intertwine.
BII's approach is to study these pathways carefully, define mechanisms, measure biology, and validate findings before making claims.
It's a patient, methodical journey toward understanding complex neurological processes.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope this gives you a clearer picture of why pain and stress are more than just simple feelings. They're complex biological stories still being unraveled.
Yeah, and why research like this matters for the future of neurological health. Take care.